I just had an MXD mixed with some Calypso. I am now in my papa's car. I just filmed a disclaimer for the other story time that I filmed first, like last week. And with this story time, honestly, like I said, I wanted to film in cars. You saw that at the end of the last story time. I can film anywhere, but I like to film in cars. I feel like it's more secluded.
Hi, how are you?
Because I don't need people trying to dox me. I really don't. Trying to like kill me over the shit I'm gonna say. I feel like I want to beat people to it, and this might be just me over explaining myself because I've done that ever since I was 13 or 14 years old. I felt like if I knew I wasn't wrong, I over explained myself, which at the end of the day, I didn't need to do that. I didn't do anything wrong in most of these situations. Not gonna say I never retaliated back, or not gonna say that I never acted out or anything like that. That was just perfect the whole entire experience. But 95% of the things that happened to me, I did not deserve, and the reaction was an action to what was being done to me. I hope that makes sense to people. And then the other 5% was me acting up, and I take full accountability for that. But yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm always all over the fucking place. I can't remember my train of thought of where I was going. Like I said, I had an MXD. Which is some type of alcohol. I'm very much a lightweight. Like I could take a cooler and feel like I'm zooming, which is why I don't really. Every time my friends are like, "Oh, take this or do that. You didn't take enough of this." I'm like, "Bitch, your 6 puffs of weed is gonna be having me fucking down the street streaking somewhere. So I only need to take 3 puffs to get where you're at. You're trying to get me to take 6, and it's not gonna be equivalent to what you think it's gonna be equivalent to." So I think my papa would be okay with me cursing in his car. He would let it slide, because like when we had our one-on-one conversation, she would be like, "All right, tell me what your mama said in her words. You're allowed to curse." You know, he would give me the go ahead. I do not think he would be okay with me drinking in his car. So to respect him and his wishes, I just did it outside the car because I just felt like I'm not gonna disrespect him. I think he'll be okay with the cursing to a certain extent. I don't think he would be okay with me drinking in his car, which I'm not going to. So what I do have is, I got a caramel flat pie. I hope I'm saying that right. I got a speech impediment, as you guys, if you couldn't tell already. I got this. And when you go and get it in person, it's different from when you order it on DoorDash. When you go and get it in person, chef's kiss, because bitches most likely are going to do your order right because they don't want to hear about, "Bitch, you did my order wrong." So there's that. And then I think this is where I lost my train of thought at, but hopefully it's not too much or overstimulated for you guys, because I'm overstimulating myself. But with these story times that I tell, I would like to do some type of like symbolism. So if I'm not filming at the place that the story time happened at, I'm hoping to have something that has to do with the story. So I got these. Now these are not the hot version, and if that sentence is going to make sense later on when I tell the story, but these are my shits. They were my shits as a kid, as you're going to be able to tell from the story, but these are my shits. So there's that. So last time I didn't drop names. Like, even if I didn't have any type of personal issue with them, I did not drop names because I was just like, not even gonna lie, I'm so afraid that people are gonna like try to come after me and beat my ass, like, because of the shit I'm saying, because that's just the type of people they are. They can't take accountability for any type of actions they have. So their first thought is to either talk shit and tell lies about me, or it's I want to beat your ass. It's like, did I want to beat your ass when you went around saying all those lies about me? No, I did not. I'm saying the truth about you, and you want to beat my ass. It's crazy to me. But another story for another day. I didn't say names because I was also trying to be respectful, and then the whole beat your ass thing. But I'm just thinking about, what will Wendy Williams fucking do?
She's got a point. She's an icon. She's a legend. And she is the moment. Now, come on now.
What would Wendy Williams fucking do? She wouldn't care. She didn't care. She didn't give a fuck. She just went ahead and said names, even though she knew she was going to get her ass beat. So, I am gonna blank out or either give you a nickname or blank out who the story is about. But like, as far as everybody else, I don't feel like I'm talking shit about you or anything like that. So I feel like it's okay to say your name. You were talking shit about me and say my name. I'd be respectful and not talking shit about you, and not. And I'm just saying your name. So it's a difference. You guys, it is fall around here, so you're probably gonna see me wearing a lot of fucking jackets because it really is cold here. And also you might see a rotation of the same fucking jackets, but like, who gives a fuck? I'm a broke bitch, not a dirty one, so they're always clean.
Hey, we too old to be trying to make jokes about people who wear the same clothes every day, because like, when did they stop inventing washing and dryers?
There's that, but just want to throw that out there in case you're like, oh my god, same jacket for like last video. I'm like, bitch, I'm broke, okay? I'm not sitting in Calabasas. I was thinking of Calabasas. I might be still saying that wrong. And fucking Carol Baskin with my stupid ass. But I'm not sitting up there with Kim K and fucking Kylie, okay? My broke ass, okay? I still clean, okay? They get washed. I actually wash, because I had like get OCD from my fucking mom. I actually wash my clothes every time an inconvenience happens. So just to give it an example in this long ass intro, it's long, might as well keep going, right? Let's say that I just came from somebody's house. My mom was the type of person where if you just came from outside, she'd give a fuck if you sat outside for like 10 seconds. Throw your fucking jacket in the washer. You was just outside. We don't know what the outside has. I'm the type of person that does that. That's probably why I'm always washing my clothes every fucking 2 days, because honestly, I be sitting at people's houses and I'm like, bitch, no shade. It might sound mean, but I don't know what you have. And that's just like a superstition thing. And it's also an OCD thing. I don't know what you have or what you got going on. And so I'm going to wash my clothes because it helps me feel better. So hopefully nobody takes offense to that, but it's how I grew up. It makes me feel better. So there's that. All right. Now, after that long ass fucking intro, let's get into the motherfucking story time. Hopefully I'm not all over the place, because I only had like half, but like I said, I'm a fucking lightweight. So hopefully it's not all over the place. So I was 13 going on 14. Either I was 13 or I was 13 going on 14. And the people I tell stories about, if I met them in 3rd or 4th grade, the lowest before that would be 2nd grade. Because I did meet some of these people in 2nd grade. I just can't remember. So it's not going to go no lower than 2nd grade. So I met this girl. From what I remember, it was 3rd or 4th grade. And like I said, if it wasn't that, it was, it was no lower than 2nd grade. And we're going to call her Jean. So Jean was very much like, God, I'm gonna sound so fucking stupid. People are gonna be like, bitch, you're not who you think you are. But this is how I thought, and I'm being honest. I really grew up watching Disney Channel and those fucking anti-bullying commercials where it's like, if you see a person sitting alone, they could use a friend, go sit next to them.
I think being nice is just having a positive attitude. But when you're negative, it's just gonna bring another person down.
I really truly believe that, because I grew up in a very toxic household, so I knew what I was growing up with wasn't normal. I knew that much. I knew it wasn't normal. I knew this because, the way other kids' parents would show up in the classroom if it was their birthday, bring cupcakes and attended their family events, had all this shit going on. I didn't have that. So I knew the shit wasn't fucking normal. So I would look at Disney Channel because that was the most normal depiction of what I would see in real life from somebody else's family at like birthdays, if they had a birthday on a school day or whatever. So I really truly believed, okay, this is what the model childhood is supposed to look like. God, I probably just fucked that all the way up. I'm sorry for all of y'all that are like getting overstimulated by my fucked up bad speech impediment vocabulary. Okay, so let me see. She would sit alone. There was multiple girls in our class that would sit alone. She had amazing drawing abilities. Like, this bitch could draw any fucking thing. She had like such amazing drawing abilities, and that's the only reason people would talk to her. They would use her to draw pictures. And so I was like, oh my God, it's gonna make me sound like I think I'm like the savior of people. I don't believe I'm the savior of people. This is just how I thought. But I was just like, oh my gosh, she's sitting by herself. I'm gonna be her friend. I'm gonna be her one friend. I'm gonna do, what art imitates life. I'm gonna do what I seen on TV. And we became friends, and I made like a really good friend group out of those type of girls. And yeah, we were like friends ever since. And then when it was time to like go to 7th grade, I ended up going to the same school as her. I did not want to, not because of her, but because of other issues, but that's another story for another day. And when I got there, she and a whole bunch of other people like that I had made friends with at my old school, they ran up to me and they hugged me. And I just think, because we were best friends, we really were. I had a lot of best friends, but she was one of my best friends. And I think she was happy for me to be there, because I think I was happy to see her as well too, because we had sort of a trust, if that makes sense. Like, I was going into this, I never had been to school on time. And what I mean by that, like the first day of school, I never went on time. I always either went a week late or 2 days late. And when you're a kid, you are having anxiety, that really draws like a light on you, because it's like, who is this girl that's coming out of nowhere after 2 weeks of fucking school? And so I really had like that nervous mindset, and to see her running up to me and everything, it's like, okay, cool, I have a friend, I have somebody I can just like, hang out with until I figure out my surroundings. Not even like until like, oh, I was gonna diss her after, but like when I figure out my surroundings, and I get more comfortable, I can still have her, but I can also have other friends. So school was good at this school, it was good for the first, like, I can't remember. It probably, if I had to guess, it was good for the first month, maybe, with me. And there was, God. It was good for the first month, and then after that, shit went left, of course. Like, things started to happen. It didn't happen, like, really bad at first. Like, it took, like, maybe 1 or 2 weeks for it to get bad, but I was slowly but surely losing, like, all of the people that I thought I could, like, depend on. So, all of those people from my old school that I had, like, 10 friends that I had, like, this 4+ relationship with, they were starting to not want to be around me, not want to like me or anything, because it wasn't okay to like me anymore. And I hope I don't sound like delusional when I say that, but it was not okay. I was starting to become bullied, and I did realize it happening before my eyes, but it was starting to happen, and it wasn't okay to be my friend anymore. So it's either like, you can either be with her and get the same amount of torture she gets, or you can be with us and not get that at all. And honestly, I do give a lot of grace, because I don't think a lot of people can make that choice, especially as a kid. I don't think a lot of kids, because we were still kids, could make that choice to be like, we're going to be her friends regardless. We don't give a fuck what you say. We don't know this girl for 4+ years. No. In school, perception matters. Popularity matters to a lot of people. I wasn't one of those people that it mattered to, but my friends, it did. And so I went from having like 30 friends I could count on to 20 to 10, and then eventually ended up being 5. So she was in one of those 5 people that I feel like I can trust. Now,
What was that?
Sorry, there's children walking by. I'm like, so it gets to a point where because I was starting to lose friends that I was close with, I was like balancing between 2 groups at this time. So there was new kids that I had met, and one girl was Lauren. She was very, very popular, but she was so nice to me, and she wasn't mean to me. We had a good relationship. And there was Demi, there was, I'm trying to think, Ambrosia, Lydia, and India, I believe, and Island. So there was like that group of girls. And if somebody in that, because they were all as accepting. If I got a backhanded compliment, if I just got something done wrong to me, I would hop over to the other group. If this group was getting on my nerves, I was hopping over to that one, and vice versa. So in my second group that I was always hanging out with, the group of girls, there was Jean, there was Key, there was Key's sister, and I'm trying to think of like 2 more people, because I know there was 2 more people. I can't remember the other 2. I might remember the other 2 because like it doesn't have to equal up to 5, but I'm pretty sure there was like either 5 or 6 in each group. But I don't remember the other 2, but there was 2 more girls, and that group was looked at as not cool, not, whatever. And that's how people looked at them. That's not how I looked at them. Because if I looked at you like, oh, you are not cool or whatever, I wouldn't be hanging out with you. I just never really cared about that type of thing. But if one group was getting on my nerves, I bounced to that one, and like I said, vice versa. So, oh my God. There's rarely stories that I'm going to tell on here, or that I have told to, like, when I talk to my close friends, to where I get pissed off. This is one of the stories that pisses me off the fucking most. Like, it will never cease to piss me off. Like, I look back, and whether either the story makes me sad, or it just, like, I don't feel that it's funny to me. So it's either sad or funny. This is one of those stories that I get so pissed off about all the time, because I remember just fuming about it. And so my mom was not, she was the stereotypical, like, black mom. She was very much like, it was hard to get money out of her, if that makes any type of sense to anybody. So my siblings, they would do other stuff for money. Like, it would probably be like, oh, wash the dishes or clean the walls. And that wasn't really time consuming or that hard, except for the bathroom, because my mom, like I said before, she has OCD. So she wanted her shit done a certain way. But other than that, the tasks that they were given to earn money, from my perspective when I was little, I could be wrong, but from what I remember, they didn't take more than like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. With me, my mom always wanted me to do a certain thing. You know, it was always a certain thing that my mom wanted me to do. And I had mentioned this before, but my dad wasn't in my life at this point. But she had always told me that I'm a great, like, feet rubber. Ew! Yes, I was a great fucking feet rubber to her, because I got it from my dad. Like, my dad used to rub her feet, and he was just so amazing and so good at it. And so she felt like I inherited that gene from him. And so anytime I wanted any type of money, that's what it was. That's what she wanted me to do. It wasn't, oh, well, wash the dishes, clean the walls, mop the floors, or anything. It was rub her feet. And so we had a concession stand at our school, and I can see if I can find an image, but like, imagine, like, it would look as if like a mall. Like, imagine the mall is getting ready to close and stores are closing down, so they have that like pull down thing with the lock on it. I'll put a picture, if I can find one, to insert in here to show you what I'm talking about. But that's what our concession stand looks like when it was open and when it was closed. So we would like there was Airhead Extreme, the little glittery, like, looks like almost like fruit roll-ups. I don't know the exact name of what they're called, but I know they're Airhead Extremes. And then you had hot Cheetos, you had hot munchies. That's what you would have. I don't remember having any type of drinks. We could have had that, but I don't remember. But I know those shits were selling like fucking hotcakes. Like, kids would line up, because the line would be so long. So you would rather go and just get your chips first and then go get your lunch, rather than get your lunch and then try to be, because they closed at a certain time. After a certain while, the concession stand wasn't happening anymore, because it was hosted by like, I think, from what I remember, assistant principals, and they were not going to stand all day and just be like, here, whatever. So you had a certain time to get these shits, and then it would close down, and that was it. Nothing more, nothing less. So I really wanted some chips from these concession stands. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I remember wanting to be a part of the trend. I wanted to get some chips, and it's like, you know, and they were cheap. They were cheaper from my neighborhood store. These shits were 2 for $1. And so at the time, you know, you're a kid. I was not, my mom wasn't the type to just hand me money. Just hand me money. I had to do something to earn that shit, and not try to talk shit about the other kids at all, but like, they would come to school with money every single day and line up at these concession stands. Like, it would be the same group of kids. So I'm like, either you got somebody in your life that's just handing you money, hitting you whatever, or which I would hope you would think the other option than the second one I'm about to say, you were out here stealing. So hopefully you were out here stealing, but it was the same group of kids every single day. And I wanted to be a part of the trend. I wanted, you know, the cheap option too, because if you went to my neighborhood store, you literally would be paying like $3 for 2 bags of chips that were the same size. It was ridiculous. So I went to my mom and like, hey, you know, can I get $5? And, you know, $5 doesn't seem like a lot nowadays, honestly. But I asked her for $5. And at this point, I didn't know that I was getting child support. I had no idea. I don't think I realized I was officially getting child support until I was 16. And even then, I was like not even asking for the full amount. I just asked for money every now and then. So this money could have very well been coming out of my child support. And I just not known it. Because if I did know it, I'd be like, well, it's my money. I barely asked for anything. Can I just get it? And not... It sounds like I'm being a spoiled brat, but just not earn it, you know, because it's my money. And I understand it has to go towards bills and shit, but I just want 5 of it. I don't think I have to, like, break down, like, and give out a kidney for it. But I did not know that. Whew. So, my mom's like, I don't think she gave me too much trouble back then, because I went to her. I was always very direct. I knew what she wanted from me. So anytime I went to go ask her for money, my proposition was, if I rub your feet for this amount of time, can I please have this amount of money? So I wanted $5, and I was like, I'll rub your feet for 5 hours. Yes. And my mom, oh my God. I think that's how I got so good at being on my knees. Honestly, my mom indirectly and directly, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, taught me how to be on my knees. You know what I'm saying? Like, earn this motherfucking money. If you be honest, get on your knees and earn this fucking money. That's what she taught me at a very young age. Like, because I would be down there for hours just...
The people who sit in the chairs with their feet in the foot bath, and the people who kneel in front of the foot bath.
And she would tell me what spot to go to, what spot not to go to, and rub, you know. So now, I think that made me a pro in other things in life. I think that made me totally a pro at being on my knees.
She's a slut. Let's just go to sleep.
So, I earn my money, I'm happy, and you know how your parents say to you or your guardian, whoever, we want you to earn this money because it shows you the value in it. If I just handed you it, you would think it's okay for you to come back and just ask me for more money without earning it, first of all. Second of all, when you earn it, you feel so much better about it. You care more about where it goes and what it goes to. And I felt that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like, I earned this money. I literally was down there for 5 hours. I earned this money. It was so great. I felt so happy. And I did not plan on spending... I planned on spending almost all of it. Like, I wasn't gonna spend $1 of it. So, we go to the concession stands, and me and my friends... When I say they, let me specify. And I bought my chips. And I had bought the hot version of these, because these were my shits. I probably can pull up videos of me, like, talking about how much I love these chips, because I remember recording shit or a photo or something. So, I end up buying just... I think it was 2 bags of munchies. I know I got, like... If they're 2 for $1, I got at least 8. So I was very happy, very excited. I didn't want the airhead extremes or nothing. I just wanted some chips. And my mom, after school, she used to like leave us like little TV dinners or little like lunches, sandwiches, things like that. And so I was like, I'm gonna eat these with my chicken nuggets and my brownie and fries, because that was my favorite TV fucking dinner. I was gonna have the most amazing time eating these chips. I was gonna come home and I was gonna fucking... At the time, I think we had cable. If not, I know we had Wi-Fi. I was like, I'm gonna go home and watch my Disney Channel. I was happy. And if I didn't mention this before, which I think I did, but the MXD could be going to my head. I was starting to become bullied. And so I had all these chips in my fucking head. And I'm proud of myself because I thought about this. Because usually I don't think a lot. But I thought about this. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give them to Jean. Jean always walked around with this backpack. Or this book bag, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I'm going to insert it in here if I could blur it correctly. If I can't blur it correctly, because you guys are not the Jake Paulers, and I'm not fucking Uncle Naked. I'm not fucking Uncle Nathan or Uncle fucking Cade. Damn. I need to, like, go get speech therapy. Which there's nothing wrong with, fine. But, like, I need to go get that shit. What was I saying? I'm not Uncle Nathan or fucking Uncle Cade. I don't know how to fucking like do my little 1-2 on this shit yet, but when I do, I'll be unstoppable. So if it don't get inserted, it's because I just couldn't figure out a way to do it where I could blur her face out and then like also put her backpack, because I was looking through my shit the other day. I do have a video of her like wearing this shit. But if I don't insert it, it's because I'm unfucking talented. But she will always walk around with this book bag, and I felt like if I walk through this hallway with 8 bags of chips, I may catch one person, but I'm not gonna catch them all. And what I mean by that is like they will take shit from me all the time, but they would eventually give it back because they brought no value to them. Like, it was just to fuck with me. They would take an eraser from me, throw it around to each other. You know how people are throwing shit over your head as you're trying to catch it. And then they would eventually give it back to me, or a bottle of water, shit like that. They would never. They were not going to give me those chips back at all. That brought value to them. I mean, come on, they're chips and they want them. So even if I did catch one of them, it would have got thrown to somebody else. They'd be like, what are you talking about? These are my chips the whole entire time. And if I go tell a principal or a teacher, first of all, they didn't give a fuck about me, but that's another story for another day. They weren't going to do shit. They were going to be like, well, can you prove that these are your chips? Can you prove that you bought these with your own money? And I didn't have time for that. So I'm like, hey, Jean, can you please put these in your book bag? And I think from what I remember, she had gym after. She had some type of class after me. And I did not want to be late to class. I did not want, because she walked around with this 24/7. I did not want to sit there, put them in her book bag, go to my locker, because my locker was all the way at the end of the hall. And it was actually by like the dismissal door. So I did not want to walk all the way to my locker and then, put them in my locker, and that was it. I shouldn't have done that. There was a lot of things I should have done, but I did. So, excuse me, I keep fucking burping. Ooh, that's not like or cute at all. So, what did I do? I'm trying to remember what I fucking did. This is gonna get cut out because I'm taking too long to fucking think. That's why I need an extra fucking time at school. My brain doesn't work until hours later. It's not even about being stupid. It's your brain doesn't fucking work until hours later. It's all the weed I smoke. So, that's what it was. I did not want to be late to Miss Flogger's class. No. Shit, I'm getting them mixed up. I did not want to be late to Miss Castle's. Miss Castle's class was one of the worst class I had as far as me being bullied. Because her class was rowdy. They tried to kill her multiple times because she was allergic to perfume, and they would spray her with fucking perfume because they were mad that she gave them a bad grade. Like, I know the shit and the stories I'm going to tell you, like, you're making this shit up. Oh, everything I love, I'm not making this shit up, I promise you. So the principal would be in and out of that class, or assistant principal, somebody would be in and out of that class because, it's after lunch and kids are more rowdy because sometimes people go outside. So kids are more rowdy when you go outside and you got to bring them back in to try to learn, or after lunch. Like, it's just the energy boost that they have. And so it would be very quiet when somebody walked in because they did not know whether that was a principal, an assistant principal, or somebody, that could possibly get them in trouble. And so when somebody walked in, they would put on their "we've been good the whole entire time" face when they know they've been acting up 15 minutes in that fucking class, and the class been going on for 20. Like, so I did not want to risk walking into that class and being late and drawing attention to said self. I did not want to do that. That was not the class that it was okay to do that. Like, if it was Mr. Gross' class, I would have walked in late and not cared because he did not play that shit. He could get his class in line with the snap of his fucking fingers. Miss Castle, poor lady, she was sweet, but she just wasn't living like that. So she couldn't get them to do what they want, what she wanted them to do. Even if she had to give them her kidney to fucking do it, she couldn't do it. So I'm like, Jean, can you put these chips in your bag? I'm like, please put them in your bag. And she's like, okay, yeah, whatever. Because I didn't want to risk being late to Miss Castle's and then, like I said, explain everything that could have fucking happened. And so I was like, okay, I'll catch you after gym and I'll get them from your bag. She's like, okay. So I go to my class. I'm on time and I'm pretty sure I got tortured per usual. And once I get out of class, I didn't care about being late to Miss Flogger's because I skipped her class most of the time because that was a class that I was severely bullied in the most. definitely that class was at the top of the fucking list. So I just didn't go to her class. I would probably go in there, get my work, and then walk back out. And they were so loud and rowdy that they wouldn't notice. Like, it was different with Miss Castle because people were constantly in there to make sure that they weren't like that the whole entire time. Miss Flogger's class, they didn't give a fuck. No principal or anybody was in there to make sure her class wasn't like that. So they were like that 24/7 when it came to her. So I ended up just going over to Jean. I'm like, hey, Jean, can I have my chips now? When I tell y'all, this girl looked at me like I had shit on my face. Like, I just asked her for the air she uses to fucking breathe. So she was dating this guy that wasn't very nice to her. And every time I turned around, there was a fucking situation happening between those two. So that's what I thought it was. So I'm just like, oh, he done did something. He done upset her, whatever the case is. They didn't have that class together, but I just thought he's that quick with it. He could irritate her on the drop of the fucking dime within like 10 seconds of being around her. So I thought that's what it was. And I'm like, hello, chips, girl, so I can put them in my locker and not have them in your bag. This girl proceeded to walk away from me. Hello? Like, you're not gonna explain yourself? Proceeds to walk away from me like I didn't say shit to her. So I'm like, oh, okay. So Key comes up to me, and I don't remember if Key had the same class as her. Like I said, this was years ago, so I don't remember. But Key came up to me, and she was just like, Serenity, I'm so sorry you're gonna be so mad. So once again, I'm thinking it's because of this nigga. I'm thinking he done went and did some shit to her, whatever the case is. So I'm like, what happened? Like, cause that's the type, like at this, like I said, I was getting ready to be, the severely bullying was starting to happen. I probably didn't say that shit correctly. Let me correct myself. People are gonna think I'm a dumbass, I promise you. The bullying was starting to happen. It was starting to get more severe. So whenever somebody said, Serenity, I'm sorry, or Serenity, let me talk to you, Serenity, can I tell you something? My heart would go like, that's where my anxiety came in at. That's where literally my 7th and 8th grade year is when I started to fucking have the worst fucking anxiety in my whole entire life. Even after all the traumatic shit I went through as a kid, I had never had anxiety like this ever. So my heart started racing because I'm like, what happened? At this point, it's either the guy or it's something with me. So I'm like, what the fuck just happened within the last like 30 minutes to an hour? Because I don't remember how long this class was, but I guarantee it didn't succeed an hour. And she's like, she ate them. Still, because my dumbass is trying to worry about her, and my dumbass don't have like common sense. It's not clicking. What's not clicking? I'm just like, what? Like, I was like, what? I'm like, what? She's like, she was like, not only, and then she didn't tell me what she was talking about. She said not only did she eat them, she shared, she was sharing them with other people. So that's when it clicked. I'm like, I know you're not talking about my chips.
I know you're not talking about my son,
I'm like, I know you're not talking about my chips. I know you not. I know you fucking not. I know you fucking lying. So my next thought was,
punch that hoe because she deserve it.
Punch that hoe because she deserved it. That literally was my next fucking thought. And not to like throw families in there. Like, I tried not to do that. But Jean came from a very like, I don't want to say she never earned nothing in her life. I don't want to go like that far because I don't know shit. But when I was over her house, it was very apparent that she had a different type of household dynamic than I did. Her cabinet was stocked with a bunch of various snacks. And I know she was only allowed to take one. I know she was definitely only allowed to take one of them because even one time she told me like, I had asked her, because now Pop-Tarts are a hit or a miss for me. I don't know if it's because of this situation or what happened, but she used to bring in like these snacks. And I asked her one time, I'm like, hey, can you bring me? Because my mom, if shit doesn't convenience her, she wasn't buying it. Like, we weren't even allowed to have a fucking fruit bowl. the most fruit she would buy is bananas and grapes. And the bananas were used for fucking banana pudding. They were used for banana pudding. We were not, like, if we asked for a banana, she would give us hell. Y'all see what I'm doing with these, and y'all want a fucking banana, fucking what? Here, take it, get the fuck out of my face. That's what it was. So, because of that, we didn't have a fruit bowl. Like, my mom, the most diverse Pop-Tart she would buy is like a brown sugar Pop-Tart. Most of the time it was strawberry. You were lucky if you got brown sugar. She would not, like, buy us various of shit. It had to come out of our own, like, earned money. So she had, like, different types of various snacks. And so I was like, oh, okay. Like, she would bring in fudge, cookies and cream, s'mores. Those are the Pop-Tarts she would bring in. And I was like, can I, you bring me a pack? And she would be like, I don't think I can because I'm not allowed to take more than one. We got all these snacks, but there's a rule to it. We can't take more than one a day or whatever. So when I went over her house, her family just, like, gave off, like, a very, like, good family dynamic. It was stocked with snacks. Her parents were very understanding. Just tell me where you're going. If you're going to this place, let me know how long you're going to be there. Things like that. I didn't have that. I didn't have that whatsoever. And I forgot to mention that she had started already being weird to me. I don't remember what the situations was, but I know there was like 3 situations prior to this where she did some weird shit to me, and her version of an apology, and I do blame myself a lot when it comes to this because I had let her think that it was okay for her, like, to apologize to me in this way. She would just bring me like a Pop-Tart or bring me like some chips. Every time she did something to me and I stopped talking to her for like the next couple of hours, she would come to school the next day and bring something to me. And I want to make it very clear, it had nothing to do with the food. Like I said in the beginning of the story, I was actively losing people that I had known for 4+ years. So, excuse me, I had let a lot of shit slide, especially if it's little shit. If it's little shit, I tend to forgive people because it's like, why would I damage a 4+ year relationship, just because you said, oh, I'm a bitch. That's just how I am. I don't know how other people are, but that was just how I am. So I easily forgave. So I think in her mind, she thought that apology would work long term. Like, she could do whatever the fuck she wanted to do to me and that was going to work. And I do blame myself for that because that's what you showed her. You showed her that was how much you were worth. You were worth a bag of chips and not an actual apology. Because I don't even think she would apologize when she would do this shit. She would just be like, hey, like my mom. Like, my mom would do that type of shit. She would do some fucked up shit to you and be like, hey, there's some, like, the TikToks you see with examples of how, like, parents are.
What you doing?
Nothing.
You hungry?
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Up in there.
Thank you.
Okay.
They're, like, not giving you the apology because they don't want to admit that they were wrong, but they will offer you something so that you could just get over it, so to speak. And so that's what she would do. So when she did this, I'll get to it. I just had to explain that because it's going to make sense in like a couple of minutes. But I was like pissed. I was so fucking pissed. Like, I remember being fuming because I hate to make it seem like I was out here selling coke on the New York streets like fucking Tyreek. But Tyreek. That's what Mary J. Vines calls him on the fucking show. That's why she don't say fucking Tariq. She says Tyreek. Like, I was Tariq. I hate to say it like that, but you don't know what I had to do to earn this money. My mom was the type of person, and I'm pretty sure other people have moms out there like this, because my mom is somewhat normal. She wasn't the type of person where I could come home and be like, hey, I know you just gave me money not even 24 hours ago, but can you give it to me again no matter how low the amount is? Can you give me more than $5? She's going to be like, well, what the fuck did you do? Now, if I choose to tell the truth, she'll be like, well, why would your dumb ass think it's okay to do that? That's your fault. You done went and fucked up, and now you want me to hand out more money. Or if I choose to be like, well, I just want some more, it's gonna be like, well, no, I just gave you some money. I just gave you some fucking money. What makes you think I made the trees and I'm about to give you some fucking more? No. So I was just like, you literally don't know what I had to do for this money. like I said, I don't want to throw her family in there or anything like that. But if I had to guess, I feel like she is the type to be able to go home and be like, hey, can I get another $5? And they would just hand it to her without no hesitation. Because I was friends with her and I do know her. So I'm not saying her family let her get away with murder or she didn't have to earn anything or work for anything. But I know that that was something she was able to do. Like, she was able to go home and be like, hey, can I get $5 more if the case was to be like that? I wasn't. So I got pissed off about that because I feel like when you earn your money, you care about where it goes. You know, on some Ricky Thompson shit.
Oh my God, where did my money go? I work hard for my money, so I really do care where my money goes. Like, my money is like my baby, you know what I'm saying? So, bitch, you kidnapped my child, so where is my money?
I cared about where my fucking money went. So I just remember being so mad. And then Key went on to explain the whole situation. She said that apparently, like I said, I don't remember if they had this class or not. So I don't know how she found out enough information to tell me, but she was the one to tell me. Key told me that, I might need another shot. Because I'm getting pissed. I'm getting so pissed. Well, let me take a second, y'all. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to fucking find it because I'm getting pissed off. She said that they were in gym. Apparently, Jean was eating these chips just by herself. And that's another thing that pissed me off. Like, how do you steal from somebody that's willing to give? Like, I never really understood that statement until then. Like, I understood the meaning behind it. Like, yeah, that is fucked up. When people are willing to give, you steal from it anyway. You steal from them anyway. At this point, you might be doing it just because that gives you like a little bit of a kick. That makes your dick hard to steal from somebody that's willing to give, because bitch, you don't got a choice. I don't know, there's people out there that's weird like that. But she was eating them by herself, which I was going to give her some anyway, because that's just the type of person I am. I share with my friends. But she was eating them by herself. Apparently a group of girls that don't like her, I don't remember the girls' names, I would blank them out and say them if I did remember, but I know from what I remember, these bitches did not like her, and they damn sure didn't like me. They could not stand her, couldn't stand me neither, and they thought she was weird, and they just didn't like me. And so they saw she was eating these chips, and they asked could they have some. Now, there's one or two things that could have very much happened. There's one or two things. She could have felt like, oh my God, I don't want to say no to them and make them not like me more, because that's the type of person she was. So there could have been that, which they would have known or been able to ask for some shit if you would have kept your fucking bag closed. You couldn't have waited 30 minutes to a fucking out. Y'all, I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. Okay. I'm gonna try to do this while I get mad. But with that, they wouldn't have been able to ask for something because they wouldn't have known you had it had you not opened your bag and went to go fucking eat the chips. So either she was afraid to say no, or she wanted them to like her, which could be a symptom of that, your whole afraid to say no thing. She wanted them to like her, so she was like, okay, I'll share, and then they're gonna let me into their group, and they're gonna finally like me and want to be friends, or whatever the case is. But either way, she gave them some. She gave them some from, what Key tells me, and then Key says that the gym teacher, you're not supposed to be eating in class. That was any class we had, you were not supposed to be eating in class unless it was permitted. So if we had like a pizza party or it was like something of that nature, then yeah, you were allowed to fucking eat in class. But other than that, you were not supposed to be fucking eating them in class. And so he confiscated the last 2 bags, which meant that you bitches went through 6 bags of not your fucking chips and ate fucking mine. That's what happened. And, I would love to be able to sit here and be like, well, but, it turns out it wasn't true, whatever. I would love to be able to do that, but where's my chips? Do y'all see them? Do y'all see my chips other than these ones? And they didn't look like these. They were a smaller, got them upside down. They were smaller, and they were the hot Cheeto version. Do y'all see my chips? Because I would have loved to be able to defend her. If she pulled my chips out of her fucking bag, I would have been like, okay, well then the bitches are lying or whatever. I would have loved to have been able to defend her. But I couldn't. She didn't even have the right to tell me right. She didn't even have the common decency. I don't know why I just said right. She didn't have the common decency to tell me that to my face. She walked away from me like I had asked her where her shit was, and she didn't have to tell me. And so I proceeded to be fuming. Also, I just thought about something. Hurry up and go buy you fucking car. I just thought about something. Like, what also made me mad is like thinking about my chips going down these bitches' throats. Their dick sucking throats, right? And they're, you know, going into their cum infested stomachs. Because these bitches after school was sucking dick. After school. And so these bitches were eating for two off of my motherfucking plate. Literally, it's the equivalent to going and getting a $5 fucking McDonald's fucking meal. Like, they were literally eating off my dime. So I was just thinking of like my chips going down their dick sucking throats into their cum infested stomachs and like just digesting. And it was just feeding their fucking nasty ass fucking semen babies. That's what I was thinking about. So I forgot about that. And I am gonna put that in there. Because that's another reason why I was mad. I was like, these bitches is literally being fed. Their children are being fed off of me. A fucking $5 fucking Cheeto meal. Or Munchie meal. They was getting a variety of fucking chips. So they were having varieties of chips to feed their fucking dick sucking babies. Oh Lord. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this was it for me. Like, at the time this was fucking it for me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was so mad because, like I said, I cared about where this money went. Like, I know to some people this may be like, oh, it's only $5. To $5 to a fucking kid is a lot, especially a kid that comes from a mother that is gonna like make you hear that shit for the next 3 weeks if she gives you some more money. And I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. My mom was literally like that. You were gonna hear that shit for the next 2 months. And especially because my mom's the type of person, if she gives you this and then you could do everything she asks you to do. She can ask you to do 10 million things. You could do everything. As soon as you say that no to that one little thing, like, oh, I don't want to do that. Or you could have asked my sister or asked my brother, whatever. It's, oh, did I say it to you when you wanted $5? It's cool. You used me. You got what you want. It would have been like that. So I was pissed. I was fucking fuming. And so I didn't talk to her. We would walk home together too. That was another thing. But I just was like not walking home for her. I was not walking home with her. God, me and this speech, I swear I'm going to go see a speech therapist. I did walk home with her. I didn't wait for her because sometimes I would usually wait for her because she, you know, even though she was not liked like me, she wasn't not liked at the same level as me. She had more, you know, more friends, whatever. And I walked home. And the next day, she comes up to me, and I want you guys to envision a bag of like not hot Chester popcorn, because I mean those are good, but I don't like popcorn getting stuck in my teeth, so I wouldn't buy that version very often. But puffcorn, I want you to imagine that on this bag, right? She comes up to me. No hi, no hello, no nothing. I swear. She came up to me and went like this. That was her apology. I'm sorry that not only, it wasn't even the fact that she just ate them, because I could have probably even gotten over that. It was the fact that you shared them with bitches that don't like you. They could give a fuck less about you. You could be literally on fire. They wouldn't piss on you. Even if they had to take the biggest piss in the world to save your fucking life. And you shared with them with no hesitation. So that's what she did. No apology, no nothing. Just shoved those in my face like, here, there goes your fucking apology. And I looked at her like with so much fucking disgust. I looked at her and I just walked away. Because that wasn't an apology. Now, granted, I've shown you that that's okay to, your behavior has been okay to do to me for so long. You know, I have been showing you that. So, I don't really, like I said, I blame myself a little bit, but that's not an apology. That's not, I'm sorry. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So, I walked away from her. I didn't have anything to say. And I guess she found out that I really wasn't playing. Like, this really wasn't a joke to me. This wasn't something that you were going to be able to bring me in some chips for. And she, like, was in band. So, because she was in band, there was a lot of, like, the school we went to, it went up to 7th and 8th grade. That was it. It was 7th and 8th graders. And they would be intertwined in extracurricular activities. And so, because she was in band, she met a lot of 8th graders. And my perspective, I wasn't talking to her at all. So my perspective is that she had been going around to anybody that she considered a friend or a shoulder to lean on, and was telling them, like, she's just not talking to me, she's not this and she's not that, whatever the case is. And you might be like, well, how do you know, honey? How do you know she was doing that? Oh, I'm gonna tell you how I know. I was standing at my locker one day, and you can't even run into 8th graders without it happening on purpose, because we were on literally 2 separate halls. Like, their hall was all the way down here, our hall was back here. So you would have to walk to our hall in order to, you know, run into me. It would have to be done on purpose. And so they end up, a group of girls, they were 8th graders, I remember this, they walked up and they like, I was at my locker, shut my locker, whatever the case is, and they're like, why are you not talking to Jean? Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you too. You know, I don't know you, but apparently you know me, because you walked up to me like it was nothing. You walked up to me like it was motherfucking nothing. So you've been peeping, you've been scooping for a while. So I just, like, was literally like, oh, I'm about to get my ass beat. Like, I'm not even, like, I'm being very honest. If I was in school, there was a lot of shit that I wouldn't admit to, because it gave bitches power or it gave niggas power. But it's like, I'm out of school now, I've been through therapy. It's okay to admit to shit, even if it's embarrassing, because most of this shit was out of my control. So I can be embarrassed by it, but I'm not embarrassed because of something I did. It was something somebody else did to me. I literally thought these bitches were gonna beat my ass over some chips that weren't even there, or wasn't even, you know, their situation in the first place. I'm literally like, you bitches are about to beat my ass. How you're gonna jump me over the fact of something that has nothing to do with you? So I told them, you know, I told them the truth, and they're just like, okay. They're like, well, she's kind of sad and she's upset. Your stomach good. You got fed that day. What did you upset about? And I don't remember how that conversation ended. I was just like, okay, whatever. And then this is where I get pissed off again. Because, I expect girls to act a certain way. Like, my whole entire life, I expected girls to be bitchy and catty and whatever, because that's what they're known for. That's what was presented to me my whole entire life, like, by every one of my sisters. You can't trust bitches. Bitches are catty. Bitches are this. Bitches are that. I expected that. I did not expect that from niggas. I literally did, like, you know how you hear the songs, they're like, niggas act like bitches. I didn't expect that. I literally did not expect that, because that wasn't my experience with dealing with guys. Usually the guys that I knew for 4+ years, girls drama, they would stay out of it. They'd be like, oh, that's funny, just saw that fight, whatever, who won, and that was it. They wouldn't be like, oh, well, I heard that this is the, you know, they wouldn't do that. They minded their business. They wanted to just play basketball and, you know, chill with each other, maybe like talk about their girlfriends every now and then, or who they liked, and that was it. Regular nigga shit. When I got to this school, I had never seen so many niggas acting like bitches. So I just went on a whole rant about that, which will probably happen more than once, because most of these stories, niggas are doing shit to me, not the bitches, which I expected. Like, if you expect to be bullied by anybody, you would expect to be bullied by, like, bitches, and it's niggas acting like bitches. And it's just like, if you want to be gay, say that. Just be gay. Like, I don't have no problem with gay people. I know people be like, well, people that are not racist, they're just like, I have gay friends, or I'm not racist. I don't have no problem. None whatsoever. I'm just like, I wish you would come out that closet already, because and most of them turned out to be gay, so I wasn't wrong. I just wish you would come out your fucking closet. Like, if you want to be in the closet, that's fine, do that, but, like, don't be acting like a bitch and then get mad when somebody is trying to force you to come out the closet. I'm sorry, I just went on a whole fucking rant. But what happened? Oh yeah, so I was in class. I was in Mr. Severance's class, which 4th period wasn't 1st period. 1st period was bad. but it's the morning time, so they didn't really have that much energy to give me shit. 4th period, oh, they was on that. So 4th period, because I feel like I'm messing up my words. I'm slurring them a little bit. So you'll hear me repeat things because I just want to make sure people understand what I meant. So 4th period, I get in class. I don't remember how the conversation started, but a group of boys was just like, so you're not talking to her because she ate your chips. And I explained the whole situation down. These people, and this is the thing. I know I keep interrupting to like go sidetracked or be sidetracked or whatever. Here's the thing. I expected people to like, not like I was trying to like anchor people to be like, be on my side, be on my side, be on my side. Because after this situation, I just realized like, there's no matter how right or how wrong I am, it's never going to matter. These people are just going to like, because they don't fucking like me, I'm always going to be in the wrong. It's always going to be, I'm the fucking problem. But I really felt like, because this was the beginning, this is when that part didn't click into my brain yet. Like, no matter what you do, you're never going to be the victim. You are never going to be the reason that things are not going wrong. You're always going to be the reason things are going wrong. I just felt like they were going to be on my side once they heard the story, because she was going around telling people. I would have never told people if she wasn't going around telling people and I wasn't being asked about it. It's like, okay, she was telling people what happened to, some point. She was being truthful. And I was like, okay, well, you're telling people what happened. You got people coming up to me. I have a right to talk about it too. I wasn't going to talk about it until you went around begging for sympathy. And so I'm like, if people are going to know, I want people to know the truth. And I explained it to them. These disrespectful, non-caring, not-having compassion ass niggas gonna look at me and say, okay, well, that's not really a big deal. So I really did expect them to, I thought they would, because I was thinking with logic. Like, logically, even if I wasn't there and I heard that, and it's the same story that the other person is telling, I'm like, oh yeah, she did wrong for that. She told me she did the same thing, and I told her she was wrong. That's just my opinion. I don't have nothing to do with it. I wasn't there, but I heard that too, and I think if she did that, that's wrong. Because that's how I think logically. Even if it was my friend, I'd be like, you shouldn't have did that. To tell me that I don't have, and then not only did they say it's not a big deal, they were like, well, that's what you're mad about. So it wasn't that they didn't believe me. I would have took that. Okay, cool, you guys weren't there. That's fine. You want to say you don't believe me. I would have been like, fuck you. Okay, you weren't there. You just don't believe me, whatever. To say that they were saying that they did believe me. It was like, we believe you. We hear what you're saying. We think that's what happened, but we don't think it's that big of a deal. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, do you stupid niggas have so many NBA YoungBoy song lyrics in your head that you don't have room for anything else, even the fucking brain of your own, to think about how fucked up this shit is? Like, is that all y'all hear all day? You don't have no room for anything else in your head, including your own fucking brain, to be like, you know what, that is fucked up. You would rather me think you just don't fucking like me, you're gonna agree with anything that happens to me, than to think you're fucking slow. Because that's what I thought at first. I'm like, are y'all fucking slow? Like, are you fucking slow? Like, do you belong on the fucking... I was about to say something that's gonna get me canceled. Like, just fucking slow. And so, I'm just like, okay. Because I wasn't wrong. And I'm still not wrong to this day. You sat there and ate something of mine, shared it with people that don't give a fuck about you, and after that, from what I remember, the bitches barely would talk to you. So I hope it was worth it to betray a friend that you were friends with for 4+ years. Didn't give me no explanation. You just walked away from me, and you're going around trying to make it seem like I'm the bad person because I'm mad at you because you did that. And I'm not. So with that, because like I said, I'm very compassionate, I ended up I don't have nothing to against her today, at all. I'm still even following her. I'm pretty sure she's still following me. It's nothing against her. I'm just explaining stories. I'm explaining the place I was at when the stories happened. Like I said, I hope none of this shit ignites something with people, because excuse me, there's people that I can see today that shit like that has happened, and I keep it moving. I can even be cordial with you and speak, because it does not It's not something like I just, like, there's only like 3 people that from school that did some shit to me. And I'm like, I will never, ever, 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 ever be able to be cordial with you, bitch, ever in my life. Like, I could die, be born again, you know, whatever fucking Jocelyn said.
Bitch, you would die, be born again, die again, and be born again.
It could never be cordial with you because you did something extremely fucked up. And there's other people like, yeah, you fucked up and everything, but by the grace of God, because God is always with me no matter what people want to believe, I was able to move on and whatever and have compassion and forgive you. Because when she did that, I think it was coming from a place of, I'm still, you know, when I talk about it, I get mad, but like, if I was talking to her in general, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't hold it against her. I think it was coming from a place of, because I'm the type of person where I was strong enough to handle not being liked. I don't think she could. She was not strong enough to not handle, you know, to be able to handle not being liked. And that's what a lot of it was about, because it was hard to say no. I picked this up and don't even want to fucking drink it. It was hard for her to say no to those people because she wanted to be liked. And when you say no to people that fucking hate you anyway, that just adds on to it. And it adds on to the pain that they're going to cause you, because, you know, you said no to them. So I give a lot of people that did shit like that to me a lot of compassion and grace, which my therapist is always like, Serenity, when are you going to have compassion and grace for yourself? Because you don't never give yourself that. You always give it to other people. And I'm like, you are so fucking right. I do that shit all the fucking time. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I hope this doesn't like start some shit, but yeah, it all started with $5 fucking. It all started with $5 fucking. And yeah. Whew. I sometimes can't believe some of the shit that has happened to me. So this is probably gonna be all over I can't fucking talk. I should probably not film these videos after I done smoked weed or after I done had like liquor, because I'm a fucking lightweight, so that's probably not helping the fact that like I speak this way, because like I mess up in real life on my words too, even when I'm sober. And I also talk fast, so I hope I'm not talking too fast for the people that are trying to watch this. And I hope people get what I'm trying to say with me just like having the worst speech ever in fucking life. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed another one of my trauma sessions. I thought it would be fun to tell this one. The next one I'm gonna tell is like really, really funny to me, honestly. And so I wanted to get this one out the way. I wanted to go ahead and do that because this one still makes me angry, because of like, I just like, when you remember why you were angry, you remember being angry, it's just, it throws you off. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And like I say, I'm always gonna, I'm about to go before I like embarrass myself and cancel myself even more. And I will see you guys next time. I need to trauma bond. Yep, and my sister's knocking on the door. It's time to go. Oh, it's my mom. Gotta go. Bye.